I'm Shataya Kelty with The Observer, and we are excited to be here today with Akiva Jabala, who is coming to South Fulton February 15th, 2020 with his exhibition Atlanta. So with over 20 years of experience in the arts industry as an artist, as a curator, you can really get a focus on anything. So why Atlanta? Why this theme?
Atlanta in itself is like one of the places where when you look at the body of talent that's here, excluding nowhere. Hands down, Atlanta has the best crop of artists here. The challenge is needing really, really talented leadership in the art sector and everything. So it's just like any kind of business. Like if you're whoever's at the top of the food chain isn't managing the process to make sure that the artists actually flourish, then it's going to die on the vine and everything. So a big part of what I do in Atlanta and why I do what I do in Atlanta, it's because we're not represented how we should be. So that's my thing.
Now, you mentioned that there are a lot of artists in the local area. There's lots to choose from. How did you go about selecting the artists that are being featured in this particular show?
Combination. When I started in February last year, it's like I keep my ears to the streets and I know who's who and what's what and what's going on. So a big part of it was looking at combination between who needs to get to the next level, who's already at that next level. Also, just looking at what's really happening and looking at those who you should know about. So it's just like I'm in it, so I know who to put my hands on.
So one of your goals is to put Atlanta artists on the world stage. You've been to Vegas, you've been to DC. What has the response been as you've gone into these other markets?
The response has been amazing. Amazing. I mean, we have in DC, they were just floored by the work because DC is pretty much struggling with the same thing that Atlanta's struggling with, which is gentrification. So at one point in time, we looked at DC like it was Chocolate City, but it's no longer Chocolate City. It's kind of like Mulatto Beige City. You know what I'm saying? It's this other thing. So it's and that means that the artwork in itself is going to reflect whoever's in the surroundings. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you don't have a tremendous amount of art dealers who can speak to our narrative, then it kind of dries up. So by taking the artwork into DC, they were blown away and everything, and in which I believe completely and totally in the talent that's here. But we have to take the talent outside of Atlanta in order for it to move how we need it to move.
And is there anything specific that's really resonating with those, folks that are coming to these shows in the other markets?
Honestly, it's the combination of the work. So one of the things when I look at being a storyteller, because as a curator but also as an artist, I look at the tones like I'm putting together a band. Mm-hmm. And you don't want everyone who can sing the same way. You don't want everyone who can hit the same notes. So when you look at the artistry that's on display, you have some people hitting highs, some people hitting the lows, some people hitting the mids. You have this whole mix of visual sound and everything, so it just leaves your heart full. And also working on a different business model that helps artists to actually monetize that process.
I know that you're very vocal about the art industry and how artists are treated. As you showcase these artists and give them this opportunity, what are some of the ways that you're kind of helping to coach them in the business of art and making sure that they capitalize on this opportunity?
One, by leading with example. You know what I mean? One of the biggest things is say, okay, this is what's typically done. Just like typically, if you're going to be represented by a gallery, you're going to get off 50%. You know what I'm saying? So imagine you're doing all of your work and somebody strolls up and says, okay, I get 50%. And that's okay if you invested in my process. But what tends to happen is that doesn't happen. So the galleries pass it off to the artists and say, okay, if you want to show with me, 50, 40, some people at 80%. You know what I mean? So my thing is like, okay, let me teach you how you should be treated. And it's pretty much looking at any kind of relationship. If you don't have a good relationship with whoever the person is or institution is, that can become your norm. So my thing is saying, no, that's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? Let me treat you how you're supposed to be treated. Like if it's Will Smith or some A-list Hollywood actor, if I'm a filmmaker, I'm not going to treat him like he's, Joe Blow at the gas station. So the same thing needs to happen with the arts. So just showing them the business models, even the percentages. We do 75-25, and that's unheard of. You know what I mean? Where for me, it's like, yeah, I have expenses, but as a business owner, I need to be able to cover my expenses on the front end. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't sell any work, I still need to be able to put together a great production and, represent well.
And now, as you set your sights on these other destinations around the country, around the world, what made you want to bring this back to South Fulton?
It started in February here in Atlanta. And my thing is like, okay, we do a lot of things in Buckhead. We do a lot of things in Midtown. We do a lot of things everywhere else except for in our community. And a lot of these kids don't have access to it. They don't see it. And even a lot of, grown folks don't get to see it. So my thing is like, okay, let me bring it home so that you can see the talent that's right here. And Atlanta is a place where, like, we have world-class talent, but we need world-class support. And if our surroundings don't have access to that talent, then how can we support it? So my thing is like, okay, let me put this right here in your lap so you can see what's going on. This is what you need to support. And not only support it through, like showing up, but showing up to purchase, because we have to get that part.
So as we prepare to wrap, are there any last words, particularly what people can expect from the show and how they can really show up and make sure that they support this in their community?
Well, looking at that support-wise, we have partnership packages available, and money makes everything move. So this is like one of those things where, yeah, we'll do it great, but we need financial partners within our community to say, okay, we believe in the vision. We believe in bringing the arts into our backyard. We're in the South Fulton area, Cascade area. You look at the galleries that are not here, that's for a reason. So let's fix that. And the other part is just like, really, we're going to begin with all the promotional material at the top of December. So that's working with Fulton County, working with the National Black Arts, formerly the National Black Arts Festival. But Vicki Morrow's done a great job at supporting us. I'm excited about this new partnership with Fulton County, and really just saying, okay, this is what was done. So now let's look at moving it to the next level. Because once we move it to the next level, Atlanta has everything that it needs to be a world-class art scene. We just need to shift a couple things, and it'll get there.
Well, thank you so much for your time. South Fulton, you've heard it here. The Atlanta exhibition is coming into your backyard February 15th, 2020. You can go to theatlantaexhibition.com for more information, as well as how to sponsor and partner with this awesome project. Thanks again.
Thank you.